with a great attitude, with a readiness to grow, with a readiness to challenge yourself, with a readiness to appreciate and enjoy this beautiful life that we have. Hey guys, what's up? It's Brendon. I'm excited to be joined later on today in a few minutes by none other than Mel Robbins. Her and I are running the High Five Challenge right now on Growth Day. I know many of you guys are in it. So we're going to talk about today's topic of confidence. How do you beat back that self-doubt, deal with those struggles, and finally take back a little bit of control of your life? And forgive me while we're doing this today, because we're apparently going to be on multiple platforms and phones and whatever. But hi, Kim. High five to you right back. I see you all. Nice having you guys here. I hope that you'll join me in the joy and appreciation of this day. And if you're like, well, what's today? What's so special about it? Well, you have breath today. You're in the process of overcoming a lot of things today, and you still showed up. You're still willing to try. You're in a position in your life where you still have choices. And thank God you've got that breath that you have today. Everyone says, are you waking up every day? Are you always this motivated? I'm like, no. Sometimes it takes a walk, a workout. It takes working with my planner. Sometimes it takes just interacting with you guys to remind myself of like the blessings I get to have in serving and being with you all. So it's not always a natural thing. What you have to do is condition it. And that conditioning of your energy so you feel better is going to be a topic that we'll talk about today, because confidence is just like that. You know, your confidence is a conditioning. And either it was unconscious and someone conditioned it for you. You grew up and you got judged by your parents, your teachers, your caregivers. People told you what to do or told you who you were or what you were capable of. And either you believed it or you didn't believe it. And then later in lives, we all make our choices. We decide, how do I want to feel? What do I want to be like? What are my values? What's important to me? And you start learning to generate both the energy and the confidence that you need to win the day, to move forward, to get things done. I know that's not easy, so we'll be talking about that today. And we will be joined by none other than Mel Robbins here in a little bit as she gets her tech figured out. I know it's always a challenge to do that. Let me pull in Mel over here. And
okay.
What's
hi,
up,
Brendon.
Mel? Hi.
Okay, now hold on. I gotta figure out how to get I think I need my earphones here. Or actually, maybe I
have my earphones. You all are seeing the behind the scenes. I'm literally talking to Mel on the computer because she'll be joining us live. And she'll be joining us here on Instagram and on Facebook. So I haven't hit live on Facebook yet, but you'll be, what I have is my earphones on for my phone. And then I'm able to turn down the volume on my, once you join in Instagram, you'll hear me through Instagram on your phone.
On here. I think, did I join my things here?
Exactly. Have you all done this before where you're like live on one platform, you got to go live on the other, and you're like, how do these talk together?
Okay.
I love it. So yeah, you'll join me on Instagram with your earbuds on, and then I'll hit live over here and we'll be on Facebook too. Check that out, people. We actually don't know if this is going to work, y'all, because you have seen what's happening with Facebook over the last couple days.
Okay. They just pinged. Okay, here we go. I think I'm ready.
Okay.
I think I'm ready, Dick. Here I come. I'm finding you. There you are. You're live.
Oh! Okay, I'm super excited. So Mel Robbins is about to join us here on Instagram, which I'm super pumped by. And there's Mel. I'll click on her. And it's going to work. I know it.
It's going to work. I could not get into my hotel room. He waved at me. There's Brendon.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for hanging.
Thanks, everybody, for hanging tough. Mel, I see her. And then Mel, you can request to join.
I did.
Okay.
Request to join. Send request.
Hopefully that comes up. Thank you guys for your patience as we figure all this out right now. Oh, there we are. Okay, view request. And ladies and gentlemen, there's Mel Robbins.
And it's gonna work, I know.
Okay, now I'll mute my computer and I should be able to hear you on Instagram. How cool would that be if that actually works? So we'll be here live on Instagram as well as Facebook. I hope you guys will be joining us in the High Five Challenge. And, oh, there you are now.
Okay, I'm there.
I see you.
I'm here. Okay, now let me get this all set. because I need to get, okay, we are just, I'm sorry. I am
Don't
tech
worry.
challenged and.
You're doing a great job.
Okay,
You sound
now
good
I've
to
got
me. And hi,
my
everybody.
phone over my, hi, everybody.
Hey,
Okay.
everybody. This is Mel Robbins, ladies and gentlemen. It's happening. She's on Instagram and Facebook live at the same time, it looks like. Check it out.
A 53-year-old woman should not be doing this on her own, okay? Can we just say that, everybody?
You're doing great. I love it. I love it. Love it. Hi, everybody. I'm Brendon Burchard. That's Mel Robbins. We're both taking the high five challenge right now. We hope you are too. And as we're doing the high five challenge, we thought Mel would come in and her and I would just jam for a little bit for you on today's topic, which is really on confidence. We're on day 4 of the high five challenge. I know some of you are just now joining us, and that's okay. When you're in the challenge, you can go back to day 3, day 2, day 1. That's okay as well. Don't worry. As long as you log in and you get in by today, you're going to have no problem whatsoever. And also, while we're here, would you please let us know where you're watching from? Where are you in the world? And Mel, if you're muted on your desktop and through your phones, your earphones on Instagram, I think we should be okay. So I hear you just fine. Let's see, your stream is slowing on Instagram. So let me look over here.
I don't know how to turn off the volume on stream. Okay, great. Okay, great.
Oh, all you gotta do on your laptop, if you're on your laptop, is you just turn the volume all the way down, so there's no feedback. But you sound good on my side.
Okay, great. Okay, can somebody help me with this?
I see Boston, Mexico, UK. I see what's up, Vanessa in Houston? Thanks for joining us. Amy in Lexington, Laura in Ottawa. Love having you guys here, and I love it. We've got people from Brunei, LA, Arizona, Scotland is in the house. Come on. This is cool.
This is super cool. This is super cool.
Now, are you on 2 phones or are you on a phone and a laptop?
I am on 2 phones.
Got it. Okay.
And they're not even one of them's not even mine. Like, we are so tech challenged right now. And I apologize. And I could not, and I'm locked out of my hotel room. And so I don't have my earbuds, but you know what, everybody, you got to just high five yourself forward.
You just got to high five yourself.
You just got to keep shaking it off. You got to keep going, because even when you are a New York Times bestseller.
Let's go.
Yes. You guys made this a New York Times bestseller.
Did you make the announcement yet? Have you announced yet? Or are you just announcing now?
No, we are announcing right now that we made the New York Times #2 on the New York Times. Not bad, everybody. Freaking phenomenal. We are also the #2 selling book of the week of all books on Amazon, everybody. You did that. You did that. We are the #1 selling book in Canada right now. We hit the USA Today list. We hit the Wall Street Journal list. We are just climbing the ranks in the UK. Wow. And everybody, this is super important. We are crushing it, slaying it, literally the most successful audiobook on the planet right now. It is just, we were talking to the team at Audible the other day and they were like, this is unbelievable. You are just crushing it in the audiobook. And, you know, Brendon, I feel like this is, and you know this, like there are guys, you can see right under Brendon, and for those of you that can't, we should try to pin it to, hi, Jim Quick. We see our buddy Jim Quick.
Hey, Jim, what's up, buddy?
Hi, Jim. Literally, I have to say, if you're not in the high five challenge, get in the high five challenge, please. Yes. You don't even have to have the book. First of all, you want the book if you can afford the book. I'm also asking everybody today, if you're getting something out of the book, please buy a couple copies for friends. Please give this to people that you care about. Please give this to somebody that you would love to see succeed. Because the thing is about this book is that this book is more than just science. It's also heart. This book contains the secret to somebody learning, finally, how to put themselves first, how to empower themselves, how to look at themselves in the mirror and see a human being that's worth celebrating. And so, you know, if you can afford to buy the book, get yourself to wherever, get on Amazon, get online. It's $16 on Amazon. You're going to blow that in 3 lattes this week. So I think that is worth you getting a copy for yourself. We put a highlighter, Brendon, on the cover because we knew that you would want to highlight sections of the book. You know, this is I think do I have my copy here? My copy's even highlighted, for crying out loud. This is a book that you want to study, that you want to keep going and looking at. So please, please, please make sure, for those of you on Instagram, this is what the cover looks like.
The High Five Habit, ladies and gentlemen. Last night I got to talk with Mel as she received news of becoming a New York Times bestseller. She's dominating all over Amazon, both, you know, hardcover, Kindle, and audiobook. It's just a stunning, stunning experience. And congratulations, Mel. Everyone say congratulations here on Facebook or Instagram. How cool is this? How cool is this?
It's really cool. It's really cool.
It's been so fun. It's been so fun. I remember Mel came out into Puerto Rico. It feels like literally weeks ago, but it ended up being a couple months ago, planning all this, and you crushed it. Then you've crushed all of it. And I'm just so excited for you. I'm so excited for you. And today you've got day 4 unlocking the High Five Challenge. So I pinned it right here on Instagram. You should go to high5challenge.com and you can join the challenge for free. And today, day 4 is unlocking, but Mel is actually, we've left day 1, 2, and 3 up. So even if you're joining late in the High Five Challenge, no problem. But what we'd love to chat about today, Mel, if you got a minute, would be just about how do you know, obviously today's the topic of confidence. And what do you feel like is the key to overcoming self-doubt and confidence? Obviously the high five, but I don't know if you can still hear me okay, but I'm just so curious about that. We'll be sharing that with you all here. I would love for you guys to make sure you post, what's your question about confidence for yourself? And Mel and I will be taking on some of these topics. I know everyone's super pumped about the New York Times, by the way. They're just chatting and cheering it on, Mel. It's awesome. So what would you say?
Thank you, Brendon. I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted because we have this like phantom audio of you somewhere in our room where we hear you at a slight echo. And so everybody in the room is like looking around like, where's Brendon? Where's Brendon? We're shutting off audio. It's crazy. Okay, so you were about to ask me a question about confidence. You guys, you are seeing the raw, the real, like what's actually happening here. We are like giving it to you as we are figuring it out. And honestly, this is what confidence looks like. Confidence is showing up and having things not be perfect and continuing to just try, continuing to roll with it, continuing to just push yourself through the small breakdowns that happen and know that eventually on the other side of it, you'll be okay. And, you know, I often talk about, you know, the high five habit has so much to do with learning how to see yourself and support yourself and empower yourself. And as you know, Brendon, all the research around confidence is anchored in what's called the confidence competency loop, which means that you don't.
You know, that's my thing, right? I coined that and brought that all out into the world in 2001. Like
I did not know that was your thing.
Yeah, we developed that concept with some psychologists from University of Montana and started teaching student youth that. And then it got valid. So we were teaching it, and then it got more and more validated and became a thing. Now, by the way, Albert Bandura is the one who coined the term self-efficacy. And self-efficacy is built on this idea that your knowledge, skill, abilities in any given area gives you more confidence in that. Well, those things he's talking about is competence. So he always linked the two, but calling it the loop and describing how the more confident you become, the more you're willing to try and learn things. And the more you're trying to learn things, the more that you get a little better at them. So you develop more skill, and that skill gives you more confidence. So it's this loop, and that growth loop, as we used to call it, is what really takes up. And all the science has backed that, you know, since Bandura really coined self-efficacy. And what's really amazing about that is it tells you everybody here can grow in their confidence by developing more skills and being more supportive of oneself.
Totally. And so, you know, one of the coolest things about sort of thinking about confidence, not as believing in yourself, because I think a lot of people have a lot of evidence for why they don't believe in themselves.
Yes,
but when you start to define confidence as the willingness to try, confidence in my book is the willingness to try. And, you know, it's funny because right before we were about to go live with you, I felt totally insecure. I was losing my confidence, Brendon, because, well, here's why. We're having so many kind of tech things going on, and we're scrambling, and half of our team is on the East Coast trying to do tech stuff, and then we're sitting here in a hotel room trying to do tech stuff, and we're sorting it out, and it's not working. So I call Brendon in a panic, everybody, and I'm like, can we start in 10 minutes? Oh my God, because my insecurity is flipping the switch inside me. And Brendon's like, well, we just announced to a couple million people that we're going live. So I'm going live, and you can join me when you're ready. And so I go running down the hallway to get a pair of headphones, everyone. And I get to my hotel room door as Brendon's going live. I've got my freaking slippers on, and I forget the mask in the hallway. And I get to the hallway, and I go to put my key to the door, and it does the red light. I am locked out of my room.
Oh, no.
So then I go running back here, and I'm like, we don't have headphones, we don't have headphones, we don't have headphones. And so even in the frenzy of this isn't working, and the doubt and the stress and the adrenaline of it, you guys, and my mind going, we're not going to do that. Like, we can't do this. Like, it's not like, I don't feel confident in that moment. I am willing to try.
Yes.
And the folks that I'm here with, Amy and Melinda, they're willing to try. And that's the secret, because as you saw at the beginning of this broadcast, I'm all over the place because we're trying to get headphones to work that aren't even mine. And I'm sure, Melinda's like, I don't know how I feel about you putting your freaking waxy ears with my bods in. Like, we've all kind of looked at people's things like, is there wax on this? I don't know if and then she's looking at my ears like, I don't know if I want your thing or my thing. So she's handing them over. They're not going. And the whole time, everybody, I don't feel confident. But I am willing to try.
Yes.
And as you are willing to try, and this is a high five attitude. A high five attitude is getting yourself into this mode where you're willing to try, where you're optimistic that things will work out. Like, look at just how different even sort of my body language is now that we are 13 minutes in. We've pushed through the insecurity. We've pushed through all the breakdowns. We've pushed through trying to figure out where the phantom Brendon volume's coming from. We've pushed through the fact, like, there is so many things going on. And now I have what I call body confidence. And that doesn't mean I feel like I look great. Body confidence is that moment where you all of a sudden come back into your body and you realize I'm comfortable in my own skin. Like, I'm present in this moment.
That's it. And
so we just demonstrated it, everybody.
That's it. A way that I define it is so simple. It's also your belief in your ability to figure things out is the way I describe confidence. It doesn't mean that you will be perfect. It doesn't mean that you're not going to be a hot mess during it. It's just like, you know what? I believe if I get in the game, give me a couple minutes, give me a couple, mentors, give me a couple years, give me some time to develop skills. It's like, put me in the game and I will figure it out. That's confidence too. It's like, just as you're saying, I'm willing to try. I believe in my ability to get in there and I'll figure it out. And as I go, and if you can be graceful and compassionate with yourself, and remember when the dang tech isn't working and that's broken and this isn't working, if you just go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to breathe through this and I'm going to show up with joy. I think those two things, like, you know what? I'm going to breathe through this. It's not going to be perfect. It's going to be a hot mess. And I'm going to show up with joy anyway, because it's all funny. Like, this is funny. Like, we get to do this. We get to talk through the internet to all these people. That's funny. It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's extraordinary. And guess what? I always say, your confidence goes way up when you realize the consequences that you fear are smaller than they really are.
Oh, it's so true.
It's like, oh my God, if this Instagram live doesn't work, my life is ruined. Well, that's going to kill your confidence, because guess what? If the Instagram live doesn't work, you're not there. Okay, maybe you hop in for the 10 minutes. Like, it's totally okay. And I think that belief in my ability to figure things out, I'll get in, I'll mess around with it, we'll figure things out, we'll get in the game, and I'll get in the game joyously. I have to tell you, most people don't know, Mel, what a bumbling idiot I am in about 9 out of 10 areas of my life. I'm good at, like, this very fine line of things. Everything else, I'm like, I don't know. But I kind of say that in that tone. I don't know.
I don't know.
It'll be fun.
I don't know.
Let me try it. I'll figure it out. I mean, I'll try anything. Like, I don't know anything about cars. A lot of my friends, they love cars. They can change carburetors and mufflers and I mean, they love the old cars and the car shows and all the car stuff. I've never opened a car magazine my entire life. I know nothing about them. But you said, Brendon, today you're going to learn to change a carburetor. Now, I have no idea how to do that. I could care less. I can change oil, but there's no passion, there's no interest there, but I'm going to make that so fun. We're going to be cracking up. We're going to be having a great time. I don't have any confidence that I know how to do that now, but I have confidence that get me in there, put my hands on it, show me what to do. I can replicate it. I can model what you're doing. It probably will light the car on fire the first time, but but you know, they planned for that. So
That's
it won't
true.
blow up. And so I just think if we give ourselves the grace of bumbling through it, a lot of Buddhists and Taoists would talk about the spiritual principle of sort of bumbling through things as the innocent mind, as the child mind. That when we can go in with the innocence and the childlike demeanor, the carefree demeanor, that as we're doing it, not only will we master it better, but we'll enjoy life.
Totally.
And I think that's key. Well, and I think so if you want skill, mastery, and enjoy life, it's just about, you know, be a little carefree, especially don't blow up the consequences to be the worst thing ever.
So true. And it's so easy to do, to just kind of just let your mind go down that loop. I mean, it happened to me this morning, and it happened so casually, so quickly, everybody.
Yeah.
And, you know, I want to just ask, for those of you that are in the High Five Challenge, what are you getting out of it? And for those of you that have a copy and have read a copy or listened to the High Five Habit, what are you getting out of this book? Brendon and I are going to talk a lot about confidence today, but we also want to make it very clear that you understand that, you know, right under Brendon and pinned on Instagram, there's a link to something called the High Five Challenge, which is something that Brendon and I created together. It's a 5-day challenge. Thanks to Brendon and his team at Growth Day. He has given the world access for free for 5 days to his app, Growth Day, which is the world's leading personal development app. It's the only place where I do live coaching. And it is a 5-day challenge that has a video every day for me. It's got a journaling prompt based on science that has you go deeper into what you learn in the video. And here's the coolest part, everybody. There's 106,000 people participating in the challenge right now, for free, And
Wow.
You don't even have to buy the book. I'm asking you to buy the High Five Habit. I'm asking you to buy this for friends. I'm asking you to give a copy of this. Why not surprise somebody? Why not go on Amazon and literally order a copy and send it to somebody with a note that you're sending them a high five because you love them, and have them discover for themselves the power of self-empowerment, and then jump into the High Five Challenge if you haven't yet. Let Brendon and I and 106,000 people support you. You know, one of the reasons why this challenge is so different than anything you've ever done is because it's not a Facebook group.
Yes.
And
Brenda just said, literally on Facebook, she goes, the challenge is bringing my natural optimism and faith in myself back to the forefront.
Yes.
And I think I mean, think about that gift, guys. If we could find within you that natural optimism and faith, find within you that natural confidence, that natural ability for you to encourage yourself, that natural self-respect that should be there, but sometimes it got drowned out by all the judgment that you give yourself and other people have thrown at you.
Yeah.
That sometimes finding more confidence is learning to tear away the stuff on top of you. And that's the judgments that you've stacked on yourself and the judgments that others have stacked on top of yourself. And as Mel's saying, there's 100,000 people cheering you on. I've never seen, as of yesterday, I haven't even seen today's count. There's 30,000 comments and selfies and vulnerable stories and people encouraging. That doesn't happen anywhere on social media at that level. That happens in the challenge, in the app. So as Mel's saying, you can go to high5challenge.com, sign up there for free. You got to do it today because basically tomorrow, day 5 rolls out. And we want you to be able to get in. You can still watch day 1, 2, 3, and 4, but you do have to get involved because tomorrow's day 5. And so we would love for you to join in that. And then also support. I love what you said. Why don't you surprise somebody? Send them this link, high5challenge.com. Send them the book, The High Five Habit. and be that encouraging force in their life, not because you're cheering them on, but because you're teaching the fisherman how to fish. You're teaching the person. See, you think you have to encourage people. What you have to do is teach people how to encourage themselves. Oh, let's go, Mel Robbins. That's what she's doing. That's what you get to do when you send this book out to people, when you bring people in the challenge. Let Mel teach them to encourage themselves, and you can take the weight off your shoulders of having to be the peacekeeper around the house. You don't have to now be you're not always the positive force that everyone has to lean on. Teach them to lean on themselves with the high five habit.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. You are teaching somebody how to encourage themselves. You know,
Yes.
one of the things that I've noticed as a parent is that, we've got 3 kids, 23, 21, and 16. Obviously, they're human beings that get down on themselves. I can give them all the pep talks in the world, but the hardest thing on the planet to teach somebody that you love is how to look themselves in the mirror and see somebody who is worth cheering for, how to look themselves in the mirror during college and going through a trying time with friends where you feel like your friend group is ghosting you. How do you teach somebody to get themselves through that moment, to support themselves through the ups and downs in life? And the answer is the high five habit. And so you better believe that all 3 of our kids were not only involved in this book, but they are reading and using this book. And for those of you that keep asking, can I send this to, can my 11-year-old read it? Absolutely. And they should. I wish I knew how to do this at the age of 11. I wish I knew that I could go into a middle school bathroom and look myself in the mirror and high five myself after a really rough thing. We got a testimonial in the challenge, the high five challenge, from somebody, Brendon, who said the greatest thing. She said, I had a huge presentation at work today, and it was in front of an all male, group of
I saw this
people.
one. Yes.
And I'm as a woman, I was nerve wracked. And I do this presentation, and absolutely nobody said anything. My boss didn't say a good job. None of the people I was presenting to said anything encouraging. And she said, I went to the bathroom after I gave this presentation at work, and I high-fived myself. And it made me realize that simply saying to myself, great job. That was awesome. You really prepared. You did a dynamite job, particularly in front of a tough crowd. That is the most empowering thing in the world, because you can't rely on other people to give you what you actually deserve. You got to know, should your boss say you did a great job? Of course they should. But if they don't, you got to know how to pick yourself up. You got to know how to pat yourself on the back.
I love that. I think that's so critical. And I think that what most people will realize once they read the book is, and I bet people can acknowledge this on Facebook or Instagram here, I bet you've had weeks where you have gone without anybody encouraging you. You not encouraging yourself, your spouse not encouraging you, your kids not encouraging you, your work teammates not encouraging you, because we haven't taught this as a skill. We've taught it as an idea, but what Mel has done is she said, we all know we should be kind to ourselves and others, but we don't. So let me teach you this high five habit to make this idea or this concept become a skill. And now when it's a skill, it can also become a habit. And when it becomes a habit, you start doing it for yourself and for others. And if we can give that gift to the world of a simple, tactical way to encourage ourselves every day, which is what the high five challenge will teach you to do, that's why the 30,000 people have commented alone on day 2, because it was unbelievable, because they're recognizing wow, I haven't heard this for a while. No one's encouraged me through the pandemic. Instead, they judged me.
It's so true. Let's talk about that, because I think you're right. I think that one of the things that is profound about why the high five habit not only was an instant bestseller and hit the Times list as number 2 the first week, and USA Today, and the number 2 selling book on Amazon this week. And I'm still telling you all, you need to buy it and you need to send it to friends. And this needs to get out. I think it's because not only is it so universal, but the timeliness of this is divine. 18 months of questioning, of uncertainty, of bickering, of division, of feeling discouraged, of nonstop video conference calls, of feeling depleted, of feeling isolated. Nobody was encouraging you, and the news wasn't encouraging, and the outlook wasn't encouraging, and the bickering about masks and vaccines and whether we're going back to work or whether we're like, that's not encouraging. And so at this moment in time where you have experienced a sustained negative barrage from everywhere in your life, this right now is imperative. It is critical. It is life-changing because it's what's been missing from your life for 18 months. This encouragement that every human being deserves and needs. To me, encouragement is like oxygen. You can't breathe without encouragement. It's like water. You are dying of thirst right now. And what needs to be satiated is one of your most fundamental needs as a human being, which is the need to feel seen, the need to feel supported, the need to feel connected, the need to feel celebrated and encouraged. And we're here to tell you, using simple science, you can tap back into the sense of connection, confidence, support, and resilience that resides inside of you, but that has been buried by the barrage of negativity.
That's so true. Especially, it's so interesting during the pandemic where, we had to witness so many millions of people becoming sick or passing away, that you would think we would have come out and through that with this fundamental deep sense of celebration of life. And instead, the lingering energy is dread and uncertainty. So you think about that for a second. It's like, wait, we have all this dread and all this uncertainty. And I get that because there's plenty of grief when things change. There's plenty of grief when we lose people. But what we haven't learned to do is pick ourselves out of that by having encouraging moments. And I think that is truly what can be the game changer for people, is learning this habit of encouraging themselves, Oh, what's
Brendon,
that?
my daughter just tried to FaceTime me, and not only did it make me go away, but it also screwed up our audio situation. So if you then saw the perplexed look of a 53-year-old woman trying to go, how do I stop the FaceTime? Where's the what's happening, everybody?
Oh my God, you're doing so great. You're doing so great. You know what? We're all learning it, and you've had a busy morning. And listen, y'all, if you didn't know, please allow me to embarrass Mel for just 1 second.
Please.
If you did not know, yesterday was her birthday. So here she is, the day of her birthday. She learned she's a New York Times bestseller. She learned she has 100,000 people in the High Five Challenge. And then the next morning, here she is again, showing up for you. That consistency in service is why I love this woman.
Oh,
thank you. She has been here working harder than most people will ever know. Not just now, for many of you who might find her out because of High Five Habit or High Five Challenge, or you've already listened to her in all of her audiobooks on Audible. But what's powerful is she's been doing the daytime show. She wrote 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, the 5-second rule. She has just absolutely been so consistent in her service. And even when she doesn't know how, she shows up. Here she is. We're going to do it. Let's go. And that's what we need. We need that force of momentum to believe in ourselves and keep showing up, even when they cancel your show, even when you don't hit the number slots that you want, even when the achievement isn't the thing that you wanted, even when the team is all over the place and you're like, what the hell am I doing today? That's real. I go through that. I bet lots of entrepreneurs in the house. Anyone?
Oh,
you're just always figuring it out, and that's okay.
Yes, it's okay. In fact, I think you guys seeing me being like, what's happening? There's a FaceTime call coming in. Delete, delete, delete. It gives you permission to just try. Like, that's what confidence is, everybody. Like, you can figure it out. You really can. And you're going to do it by high-fiving yourself forward. Just like you would celebrate a good teammate and be like, you got this. Come on, shake it off. Shake it off. Come on, you got this. And, the best part about all this, I think, Brendon, is literally the fact that this action of high-fiving yourself, and it's obviously just one of the tools that you learn about in the High Five Challenge and that you read about when you get the book. It's leveraging all the stuff that's programming in your mind. Like the fact that it gives you dopamine, how cool is that? The fact that it jolts your nervous system, how cool is that? The fact that it leverages all this positive programming associated with the high five. I believe in you. I see you. You got this. Keep going, Mel. Delete that FaceTime call. You're not a bad mother. You got to talk to Brendon right now. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Like literally,
that's a joke she and I have is like, we were filming and I taught her the Montana High Five Challenge, which is like, I was like, well, Mel, this one thing, it's like, does it do it for you? I'm like, no, I'm more of one of those guys who kind of like is such a hot mess. I kind of need one of like, I need like a choo-choo chugging train.
Brendon's like, go.
I gotta keep it going because I'm more like this because I'm such a hot mess. One is insufficient for me. I need about 20 of those to get out of my way.
That's so funny. Somebody just wrote, that's so dope. It gives you dopamine? Amazing. Yes, it does. That's why high five feels so good, everybody. It's because of what's happening physiologically, chemically, neurologically when you receive a high five. Your brain doesn't know the difference between Brendon or Mel Robbins high-fiving you or you high-fiving yourself, because all the programming is actually wired and triggered by the physical movement. So this is why this is so powerful. You are literally demonstrating to your brain a trigger that gives you dopamine, that kicks in that subconscious belief of I believe in you, I love you, I see you, and that tells your nervous system, zip, give them a zap, let's go, here we go.
Yep. It's just built in. You've high-fived so many people throughout your life that is neurologically tapped in. Like that is already something. Every time you hit somebody like this throughout your life and you high-five them, that was an associative conditioning that had sparked.
That. What associative conditioning? Tell me about that. What does that mean?
Yeah, it is. So there's an association that happens. Good energy, trigger. It's like Pavlovian dogs, right? It's associative conditioning. It's like if the dog hears a sound and is fed at the same time, they learn to start salivating when they hear a sound, even if there's no food present. That's associative conditioning. So what's happened is every time they hit that, and it's also physical, right? You high five someone, you hear that skin activation, that energy and the mood of the moment is triggered and it gets stored in the body. Energy becomes associative and stored in the body. So now in our body and our mind, we have this memory, this association that this movement is something that triggers good feelings. That's why the dopamine is so apparent, because there's a pattern. The dopamine is dropping because the pattern was, oh, every time I did this in the past, I felt good. And so when I do it in the mirror, I feel good in the moment, even if it feels a little bit silly, because it's like your body has just learned so many repetitions that this movement triggers that neuroassociative conditioning that says, oh, this makes me feel good. I've done that tons of times.
That's amazing. You know what's interesting? Somebody's actually connecting the dots and saying, whoa, this is actually the same thing in the positive sense.
Yes.
That people have experienced in the negative sense with trauma. Like if you disassociate quickly or get anxiety quickly because of old trauma, that is that neurological associative programming that Brendon's talking about. What we're talking about is the high five is a wildly positive and affirming version of that you've done it so many times that it's automatic in terms of the trigger. There was one other thing that, and it just flew out of my mind. I was going to ask you, Brendon. It'll come back to me.
Yeah, it's like this. So Denise and I, we made a wedding mixtape, a mix CD for our wedding, right? And so there's a song that we danced to at our wedding. And so we had this heightened state of emotion as we were picking it out. We were excited to get married. We had the dance at our wedding day. That song played. And so every time that song plays, it's like I immediately drop into my heart and I look for my wife. Because previous times that has happened, there was this heightened emotion. Well, the previous times you've high-fived other people, there was a heightened emotion. It triggered a physical reaction, muscle memory. That vibe went into your body and your brain as a memory. It went right up to your hippocampus and it's stored. in your hippocampus, which stores your memories, it says, hey, when I do this, I tend to feel good. And so even if you feel crappy in the morning, but you go to the mirror, and if you're open to it and honest and you're willing to encourage yourself, if you smile and give your high five, your body goes, well, that's kind of silly, but I kind of feel good. It's because it's already in there. You're just activating something that has been there. It's associative, it's conditioning, it's physical, and it's drawn by good neurochemicals, which he's talking about. Dopamine, probably vasopressin, oxytocin, serotonin. All of these are going to be activated in a certain way when we actually hold and honor ourselves. I would say just the physical movement, vasopressin, dopamine, right? The association of honoring oneself, oxytocin, serotonin. We're talking about a full range of goodness really dripping right down our brainstem, right into our heart and into our body going, I feel kind of good. But you have to be genuine about it. And here's the thing. The first time you do it, you might feel silly. It might take 10 times. It might take 10 weeks. Because you know what? You're also fighting that conditioning in which you have beaten yourself up, not high-fived yourself. Sometimes you got to work through the mud to get to the clearing.
So true. You know, I keep seeing somebody ask, well, what if your culture, it doesn't, you know, we don't high five. You still get the same benefit. Let me explain why. And Dr. Daniel Amen explained this to me. He basically said that it's also tapping into all of the associative programming with greeting somebody and gestures of affection. So even if you've only ever seen a sports team do the high five, your brain still recognizes it. Even if you don't do it in your culture, whether you bow or you wave to say hello or you smile at somebody, these are all gestures that are hardwired. Also, gestures of celebration, crossing a finish line. Everybody instinctually raises their hands. Yep. When your team scores, you instinctually raise your hands. Yep. When somebody is finally married, you instinctually raise your hands. When you wave hello, you instinctually raise your hands. When you go to hug somebody, you instinctually raise your hands. So the raised arm motion connected with you looking at yourself and opening up those mirror neurons, the smile, the gesture, which has all of that programming in it, even if it's not the thing that you do in the culture that you grew up in. I promise you, practice it every morning after you brush your teeth, and over time, and I don't think it'll take long, you will start to feel something. And I would add in our good friend, Mr. Jason Wilson, best-selling author, does a ton with men's emotional health. He likes to hold his hand up instead of taking it away. He holds his hands up in the mirror and looks at himself and holds it there. And he says he feels this divine connection by slowing it way down. And so that's another thing that you can try.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the one reason you want to get the book or enter the High Five Challenge, which again is free, highfivechallenge.com, get the book. Why does it matter? Because we're talking about it in a very casual way right here, but what Mel does in the book is, she gives you other habits of how to hold on to your heart, how to connect with yourself in presence, how to deal with difficult times. There's always, you can name it the High Five Habit or the High Five Challenge, but there's a lot beyond just the simple gesture of high five. It's part of it is the nuance of what you're saying to yourself or not saying to yourself. And then there's the other strategies and ideas in the book that make you go, I'm also not doing that. Like, she's making high five the anchor of the book, but there's so much more there that is inspirational, that's tactical, that you're going to want to pick it up. So High Five Habit is a powerful book. You can get it on Amazon, Audible, Kindle, ebook right now, anywhere in the world. It is in its first week fully out. She just found out she'll be New York Times bestseller list on Sunday. She'll be charting. You can see it online already, but it'll chart on Sunday, that you'll be able to see it in the papers if you read the papers or you're on New York Times. But you can see it right now on Amazon, still in the top bestsellers of all books. Why? People need it. People just need it. They're just, man, if you're tired of the bad mood and the bad energy in your house or in your mind, you got to change it with that new habit. You're not going to just sit and will yourself there. You're going to have to do something that is active, something that is in real time, something that is physical, and something that develops a mindset that can endure the difficulties of life, where you learn to encourage yourself and keep going. So that's why I love Mel. That's why I love the High Five Challenge. That's why I've been yapping at you for it. I'm not even using my affiliate link in any of these posts or pins all across my social media. I'm just saying, go to High Five Challenge. That's Mel's page. It bounces you right into Growth Day for free.
For free, everybody.
For free?
For free. You're getting access to the world's leading personal development app. If you've heard of Peloton, this is actually, because it's a whole community that is there for one reason, to spend time working on their self-development, to grow a little bit every single day. And, you know, Brendon said something to me yesterday that really has just struck with me, that we get so used to striving, achievement, that, you know, you can literally forget the most important measurement, which is measure how far you've come against yourself. Mm-hmm. It's like, Mel, if you think about the last book that you launched, it was almost 5 years ago. You didn't make a single bestseller list. You didn't make the New York Times. It was a slow burn. You thought you had failed. You know, the audiobook was this huge runaway success because of some of the failures. You had like maybe 2 or 3 podcast folks that interviewed you for it. Like, look at your growth. In 5 years, you debut as an instant bestseller. You are on the New York Times list. You're the #2 selling book on Amazon. You've got 106. At this point, we probably have 107,000 people from 90 plus countries taking a free challenge that we have created together simply because we wanted to give people tools to be able to change their life, to feel supported at a time where this is what you need, by the way, everybody. You need this book. You need this challenge. You need to feel encouraged again. It is time to stop hiding in the corner and waiting for the world to change. It is time for you to pick yourself up. It is time for you to figure out what you've learned in the last 18 months and use it to make an intentional change. It is time for you to stop waiting for the world to go back to how it used to be and to start getting the support that you need, first from yourself, and then from people like me and Brendon and the other 106,000 people around the world who are also trying to grow and to change and to take what they've learned in these last 18 months and go, you know, I don't want to go back to a lot of the way things were. I actually want to do something different. This awakening that you have inside you is something you need to encourage and nurture and look at and explore. You need to set some goals now that you are where you are right now, everybody. You need to not only set some goals, but then you got to start working and practicing and making some new behavior change a habit. You got to start surrounding yourself with other people that aren't sitting around complaining about whether or not we're still wearing masks, but people that are talking about, what are we going to go build? What do I want to do now? How am I going to make myself happy? Forget about the masks or whether or not we're wearing them. That's what small minds are bitching about. Why don't you actually start to think about what you want your life to look like now? And because if you can define it, if you can set some goals, if you can figure out what behavior and thinking changes are going to align with where you're going, you can high-five yourself there. You can high-five yourself through the change. You can high-five yourself every morning and send yourself into a brand new game that you're playing about your life. And that's what we're doing at the High Five Challenge. That's what this book is about. That's why I'm saying, if you've already read it, great. Give somebody a gift today. Buy them the book and send it to them as a surprise. That's the way you can send a high five through the mail. Through the mail.
I love that. I love that. I really love the idea of we've got to find out who we want to be and how we want to live our lives. And that is a question of personal development that doesn't go away. You're going to ask that 3 months from now, a year from now, 10 years from now, every New Year's the rest of your life. I think it's important that what we share here is the High Five Challenge is taking place in Growth Day. And what we believe at Growth Day, when you're in there, is that we have to make self-improvement a way of life. That is this fundamental thing I've been teaching for 20 years of my life is self-improvement has to be a way of life. Personal development can't be a one-time thing. It's a process. It's a daily process. We have to figure it out. And we give you all the tools that you need in Growth Day. People have been asking, hey, can I take the challenge? I'm taking the challenge. Can I take it again? I'm like, yeah, you can take it again forever if you become a Growth Day member.
Yeah.
You can, you get all the other tools unlocked. If you become a paid member of Growth Day, you can take it over and over and over, but you also get Mel teaching you live every single month, not just in the challenge, but you'll get her live every single month that she's teaching in Growth Day, which is so empowering because she shows up and just brings the fire every month for our Growth Day community. And that's where she does it. And I would love for you to have you there. So I think just start the journey. Go to highfivechallenge.com. That's free. Go through the challenge. When you see the tools that are available to
Oh
you
my God,
in
it's
Growth Day,
unbelievable.
when you see the comments, when you see for the first time an integrated challenge, which means you get to see a video, you get to journal on it, you get to comment on it, you get to save your notes on it, you get to see all the other people right there all at the same time. It's a completely different experience than most people have ever had in a challenge that was just, in Zoom.
Well, one of the things that's interesting, Brendon, is that I think that it's one thing to talk about growth. It's totally different, everybody, when you actually experience it. So there are two transformational things that we are telling you to do. Number one, get a copy of the High Five Habit so you understand the science and you understand all the tools in the book. And that way you will experience this life-changing tools in this book. You will experience the power of high-fiving yourself. You'll experience the power of high-fiving your heart. You'll experience the power of all the mindset flips that I'm going to teach you. You're going to experience the power of training your mind by looking for hearts. So get yourself a book and buy a couple people a copy of the book as a gift. Send them a high five by sending them the book. That's number one. Number two, the High Five Challenge is there for you for free because Brendon and I have created an opportunity for you for free to experience what growth feels like and to experience the research-backed aspects of what helps a human being feel growth happening in real time. So you are not only being taught, because I'm coaching you in these videos every day around the science of confidence, and we go deeper into the High Five Habit, but then there are research-backed journaling prompts that guide you in going deeper into the concepts we've just discussed, which creates self-awareness. When you understand yourself better, you are growing. It's that insight that you have into yourself that opens up new doors of opportunity.
Yes.
And then every single day after you put in your insights into your journal prompt, you then are asked to please share them in the comments and to please post a photo of yourself in the comments. And by posting a photo of yourself alone, giving yourself a high five, you are allowing yourself to be seen, which for most of us is an enormous moment of growth, where we suspend our self-rejection and judgment. And we're like, I don't look perfect. I actually hate this selfie. I'm going to post it anyway. And then I'm going to write a comment and I'm going to share with everybody, what am I learning about myself and self-doubt? What am I learning about myself and courage? And by sharing your story, you experience even more growth, because you know what happens? Somebody in the community comments back and is like, that happened to me too, or thank you for sharing this. I didn't realize that's what was happening. And so you are helping somebody else grow. You're allowing yourself to be seen. And so every day as you show up then for 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day, and you do this on various concepts, every day you're experiencing growth. So by the end of this free 5-day challenge, you have been introduced to what it means to make personal development and growing as a human being part of your day-to-day life.
Yes, that's so key. It's got to be consistent. I mean, you want that momentum, you want that confidence, you want that success. We all know it begins with consistent, but it's not just consistent in doing your things. It's about exploring yourself, learning new ways to handle difficult things, learning new ways to consider how to serve other people, learning new ways to find clarity or more energy or more productivity, more influence. We're always getting better and better and better and better. Thank God. And I sure hope so. I mean, because you have two choices. You either get better and you grow because you work on yourself, or you go backwards and you end up with regret that you never stretched to your full potential.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
totally.
Make that choice today. Go to highfivechallenge.com, go to growthday.com, get in one of the programs, get in a High Five Challenge, go buy the book,
The High Five Habit.
Get that book, a bestseller, just dominating on Amazon. It's crazy to watch. I'm so proud of you. Mel Robbins, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us, Mel. We appreciate you.
I love you.
You're so incredible, and I hope you have a great day. You're crushing it, and you're serving so many people, and I love watching it and being part of it.
Well, I love partnering with you on serving people around the world, and I love this challenge that we've created, and I am so proud of both of us. And it's such a joy to have you as a friend and to do life with you and to serve with you. And so everybody, give it up for Mr. Brendon Burchard.
See you, Mel. High five.
Bye, everybody. High
Hey,
five.
high five.